So, Ivan, I'm so glad that you're here with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Yeah. So, I will start to asking you, who was Jesus for you before and who is Jesus for you now?
Okay, it's a good question. So I grew up Reform Jewish, so in a Jewish home in America. And for us growing up, Jesus was somebody we didn't really talk about. He was just somebody that friends that I knew believed in and other people I knew believed in. But as far as we were concerned, or as far as I was told or taught, Jesus just wasn't for Jewish people. So they would always, I remember my dad would frequently say to me, we're Jews, we don't believe in Jesus. So to me, Jesus was just some sort of foreign concept that Christians believed in our own way there because we're a part of this special nation. And that's really what I thought of him prior to me coming to faith. Now, after I came to faith in the Lord, I came to faith in the Lord when I was 12. And it actually happened because it's a little bit of a funny story, but even though we were Jewish, my parents had sent me to a Catholic school because it was one of the better schools for education in our city. And so they basically said to me, like I said, we're Jews, we don't believe in Jesus, but you're just going there to learn math and science and history. But I remember always having more questions than there were answers for. And I was going to the synagogue as well every weekend for Jewish education and just seeking the Lord, even as a child, wanting to know how to connect with him and what was real. And so I began praying a lot to the Lord, just seeking him. And when I was around 12 years old, my mother came to faith in Jesus, or Yeshua as we say now. And she began sharing the gospel with me. And very quickly, I was able to accept the Lord myself as well. And then after I became a believer in Yeshua, everything changed, obviously. Then this person who I thought wasn't for me, I realized he became the center of my identity as a Jewish believer. That basically everything I'd been told before was incorrect, that Jesus was completely disconnected from Judaism, that he had nothing to do with us. I realized that he actually had everything to do with us, that he was an Israeli Jewish man, that he fulfilled the Jewish prophecies in the Old Testament, that his disciples were Jewish, that he wrote and ministered in Jerusalem. And all of a sudden, this thing that I thought was something for the Gentiles, then I realized all of a sudden, oh, wow, this isn't just for them. This is actually from us, from the Jewish people, for the Jewish people, and also for the rest of the world and all the nations. And it definitely took me some time becoming a believer to figure out what it meant to identify as a Jewish believer in Yeshua. But that's a process I went through then until I really formed a strong messianic identity. So for me now, who is Jesus, who is Yeshua, he's the chosen one of Israel. He's the one who fulfills the prophecy to Abraham. When God said, Abraham, I will bless all the nations of the earth for you, he was looking forward to Yeshua. That's ultimately, yes, we brought the Torah. Yes, we brought the Old Testament. Yes, all these things, but all of that culminated in God bringing forth the perfect representative of Israel, who was Jesus the Messiah. So to me, now I see him as the one whom the entire story hinges upon. It's all, everything that happened before him was looking forward to him. Everything that happens after him is looking back to what he did for us on the cross and looking forward to his second coming. So he is, in my mind, he's the son of David. He's the son of man. He's the one who inherits all the promises of Israel. He's the one who redeems us from all of our sins. He's the one who provides a way of salvation, not only to the Jew, but also to the Gentile. And in him, all things fit together, and he holds all things in their place. He is the center, the beginning and the end of our faith, and he is God.